what's behind the magic. How do I do it? How do I make projects like this? And like this. And I'm going to be showing you how to do that with these. I'm going to show you guys how I use HitFilm for Express effectively to make lightsaber videos quickly, because other tutorials that I've seen online have been kind of like, you guys aren't addressing some issues, so I'm gonna try to adjust them for you today. So open a new project file. Don't worry about anything here, like honestly, besides just choosing the template, you're gonna want to start editing. Okay, what you're gonna want to do first is import your file for the project. So you just drop it in there, it's right there, you just drag it over, boppity boppity boom. So what you're gonna want to do first is scrub through and remove all the footage that you don't want, which in my case is quite a bit, I guess. Once you found the spot that you want to move over to here with the cut tool, drop that, hit ripple delete because that'll move it to the end, and boom, it's right where you want it. So you want the cool spinny spin, and I want to edit there because, you know, look at my little face. So after you're at that point, you just click on it and hit make composite shot. I know that a lot of people are going to say that, just call it lightsaber, whatever. You're going to jump into here, you're going to hit the new media, you're going to hit plane. We're going to call this a blade plane. Don't worry that it immediately, when you drag it on above here onto your timeline, it calls that all black. You just go up to blend, you hit add, and boom, now it's just kind of like a layer to add effects onto. We can worry about coloring the shot itself later, but what you're going to want to do is go to light, just hit light and hit the 2-point manual and drag it onto the blade, and as you can see, it already has the effect right there, and we're gonna go in and change up how it looks. I like to use now the effects, how you use the light, how you've edited the lightsaber is important. So the width is probably good at about there. The feather, I keep it not that generous, like I don't give it much feather. Stability, yeah, you want to keep that up because, you know, it's got to be stable. Now, getting the lightsaber to look somewhat realistic means low alphas, but like low everything, because the lightsaber wouldn't be that vibrant out in the daylight. So we want everything to be pretty clear there. We'll keep it blue just because I like that blue. You want to make that width and a little bright right there. So these settings are good because it makes it look like it's glowing, but it's not too glowy that it will like look unrealistic in the shot, like too cartoony. That's a good look if you want it that way, but more often than not, that's not what you want. Okay, so before I used to use tracking data, but I found that to be kind of unreliable and not something you want to do. So instead, what you want to do is you go into a light sword, you drop open the hilt and tip positions, and you key everything, position width, and now this is the tedious part, but it's worthwhile because it means that everything will be exactly where you want it. So you just take the hilt and put it right where the hilt goes, and this lightsaber is actually looking a little thick, it's looking thick, so instead we're gonna drop the core down a little bit just to match the width of our lightsaber prop. So you're gonna move down the tip where you want it. So now what you want to do here, this is the grind portion. This is the stuff that takes forever besides just the sound design. So you're going to scrub through using your little arrow keys. These little arrow keys right here above the alt. It's where your comma and period is. Just to quickly scrub between the frames, and you want to go kind of where the motion is. So what we're doing right now, and as you can see, it's created two more keyframes in the thing because you set the keyframe position, and it'll try to do its best to move between where it goes, and it's going to be way off, so you gotta kind of go like halfway in between, and in the end you'll most likely end up keyframing every single shot. And so again, This is tedious. Nobody said lightsabers were easy. That's how this works. So it's kind of figuring it out. It's going to be everywhere, and you're just going to want to scrub through. So you just scrub through your shot and boppity bop and move them, just like that. So I'm going to time lapse through this so that you don't have to sit and wait. Okay, after 17 minutes of hard grinding, I have now completed this so far. And you get this pretty realistic weight. Found some holes. Haha, haha. Always want to be scrubbing, you never know. That's why you're pretty much going to be editing, moving a dot on literally every single frame in here. Well, we can't all be acupuncturers. Yes, yeah, I guarantee you I'm going to have missed several. Alright, from here, we are going to apply a shiny bit at activation and at everything else. So you're going to go into your effects, keep the light. So you go down to light flares, you put it on the same effect transform. Wah! Wah! Okay, so let's increase this a tiny bit so we can see everything. So don't worry about that. Let's just put it right there, I guess. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to click to the left so everything is at the beginning of your timeline. Then grab all the hilt position and hit copy. Then you go to your light flares. Go to hotspot position, click on that, and paste. And now the light flare is right where your hilt is, and that's where the light flare is supposed to be. It's right where the hilt is. Alright, so what we're going to want to do with this flare is go to flare type and pick something we like. I do Enterprise just because it's nice, shiny, and blue for this lightsaber. You can change the color, but anyway. So what we're going to want to do here is decrease the intensity to somewhere like right there, and the scale to something like that. Just keep it good. Just keep it kind of real. So it's not like super shiny, but it's still present and it still creates a little bit. All right, so that's good with the light flare. Gives it this cool look. I don't know if you can tell based on my mouth, but I'm making the I'm making the lightsaber noises in my head. Go into your editor, and as you can see, the composite lightsaber shot is right here, and so you can have that many clips all that you want. So we're gonna remove that. Now that's pretty much the bread and butter of the lightsaber. Now, what you'd have to do in other situations, and what we could do for a lot of the times in here. Could you not? I'm filming a tutorial thing. Lightsaber. Okay, so this is exactly the lightsaber isn't perfect. Stop. Oh my goodness.
If you're gonna film something, you should probably clean up the house.
Okay, so from here, because this footage doesn't have the lightsaber go behind me very often, in fact not at all, I don't have to do this, but typically what you could do, what you would need to do actually, is create like several dots like this, hit inverse, go to mask, shape, transform, path, and then mask out the areas. And then mask out the areas that the lightsaber shouldn't go. See how it's making it disappear? And so a lot of that means conforming it to the right shape, and then keyframing the mask to cover over yourself so the lightsaber goes behind you. It's really annoying, but fortunately I didn't have to do that. There isn't much else we need to do in here other than auto color and auto contrast, and that just gives it a more natural looking color here. Not natural, it gives it a more thematic film look. I found these saber sounds online somewhere. I'm gonna put on my headphones so that I can hear the sound and you guys can hear the sound, but it doesn't play over in my mic. So you just kind of gotta follow the motion. So I kind of have a so we're gonna use the slow saber for that. We're gonna drop that like right here. Yeah, and then the audio level, we're gonna give it a bit more of a fade in. So you start with a low, cut ahead like a few frames, put it back to 0, which puts it at the normal. We're just gonna really work with these. Every time it goes up, we're gonna use swing number 2. Every time it goes down, we're gonna use swing. just kind of alternate. So right now we're just going to kind of scrub through, see what we like, and then we're going to apply some audio effects to make sure that it's all how we want. So we're going to be using things like audio reverse. We can use those for a few of these. And maybe the second one right here can be an audio reverse as well. And maybe a pitch change. Alright, so let's check out our handiwork. And so I like to use the pitches to kind of accentuate like the motion. That's why I like doing low when it goes down and high when it goes up. So yeah, guys, that's my process with how I make these. It's a little difficult, and adding in like again the masking behind, and it's got way dark. Masking behind, and then like orange light flares when you hit another lightsaber, and I mean cut effects is a whole nother deal. I don't know how to do that yet. That is how I do some of the lightsaber videos. I hope this has been informative, and I hope that you could maybe make something, because it's awesome. I enjoy it. Lightsabers, I'm a big nerd. I think I have one in my room right now somewhere. Yeah, it turns out I have a lightsaber and a blaster in my room right now as I'm doing this. So anyway, if you're a Star Wars nerd like me, maybe this will help you out. I hope it does. I hope I'll see you later, guys. Peace.